Good morning. It is 6 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us here on THV 11 Morning News, streaming on your TV with THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy. Karen is off today, but meteorologist Tracy Bean joining us for the first check of your forecast at the 6 o'clock hour. Fresh off those cute little kittens making some noise this morning.
They were rowdy this morning, but in a good way. Of course, kittens are always fun. You know, if you get one kitten, you might as well get two.
You gotta always have a friend.
You got to get two because they keep each other busy, and it's just always it's easier. I promise. I know that sounds crazy, but it really is easier.
It's the same way with dogs. They gotta entertain each other.
Don't
just get one, get two.
Yeah, my son's dog Solo went home, and George has had him for the last about month and a half, and I think George is bored.
Man,
I got to get George a dog. My husband disagrees, though.
And as he's watching, no.
Just pause. He said I have to take off on Fridays because I always want to bring somebody home. Well, it is going to be a great day for maybe you to get a new little furry friend, whether it's a dog or a cat. It's going to be a good one. We are seeing a little bit of that first light out there now, a little pink sky there, as you can see. The clouds will remain for the most part today, but we're still going to see a little sunshine, and we're looking officially at sunrise here in about 5 minutes, and that sunset 8:06, so plenty of daylight for you to get out and enjoy. It's a 62 already this morning. We're seeing those southerly winds again. They're fairly light right now, but they're going to pick up later this afternoon, and we're going to see some gusts around 20 to 25. Now, temperature-wise, everyone's warmer this morning. We are looking again at the low 60s. We've got some mid to upper 60s and even some 70s down to our south. A few 50s here and there, but everyone's going to warm up quite a bit today, and we're going to see, again, those clouds sticking around and those very windy conditions, and I would bet we see lots of 90s in central and southern Arkansas. So we'll talk more about that weekend forecast and those rain chances and how that could impact your plans coming up.
Tracy, thank you. President Trump is heading back to Washington this morning after his summit in China, with Iran front and center in talks with President Xi Jinping. Trump says China agreed to help push for an end to the war with Iran and promised not to send military equipment to Tehran. The president also said both countries want the Strait of Hormuz to remain open as concerns grow over global oil shipments and energy prices. China is one of Iran's biggest trade partners, making its role in the conflict a major issue during the summit. Trump also claimed China plans to buy more U.S. beef, soybeans, and oil, including shipments from Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska. Concerns over the Strait of Hormuz and the war with Iran continue to drive up those gas prices, keeping pressure on drivers across the country. President Trump announced plans to temporarily suspend the federal gas tax, a move that would cut about 18 cents a gallon for drivers. Now, state and federal leaders are floating gas tax relief as families keep paying more at the pump. Now, here in Arkansas, state lawmaker Kendon Underwood is calling for a special session to discuss suspending that state gas tax for 90 days.
By doing this, we're easing that burden for not only Arkansas families, but for farmers who are putting food on the table, truckers who are pushing the supply chain in Arkansas. And so I think this would be a big benefit to the vast majority of Arkansans.
Economists say the move could offer short-term relief, but warn it could also cut millions from road funding. RDOT says a tax suspension could halt projects across the state and impact hundreds of contract workers.
Any talk of suspending state gas tax is an ill-advised plan. It's not going to make that big a difference for 90 days to the individual taxpayer.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' office says the state is continuing to look at options to help lower costs for Arkansans. As higher prices continue to stretch household budgets, more families now turning to food pantries for help. Food banks across the country say the need keeps growing, with many working Americans now struggling to keep up with everyday costs. Jason Allen shows us how the affordability crisis is changing who's asking for help.
Families are flooding back to food pantries across the country. In Baldwin Park, California, dozens of cars lined up Wednesday for a food drive co-hosted by the LA Regional Food Bank. In Pittsburgh, a pantry A.J. Owen started out of his front yard last fall has expanded into a program that will stay open through the summer.
We're going to do this until we can feed all the kids this summer. Nobody's going hungry this summer in Pittsburgh.
Americans in neighborhoods large and small are pitching in. Prices are rising faster than paychecks now. For the first time in 3 years, Wissam Youssef, a father of 5, first turned to a food pantry in Carrollton, Texas when his wife was out of work a year ago.
I always pick up the healthy food. Like example for this, the lentil here.
But he's had to keep coming.
So to feed your family,
Yes.
are you relying on a place like this now?
I could say 65%, yes.
65% of what
Yeah.
you need is coming from a
Exactly,
place like this?
because at the end of the month, we kind of like now living check by check, you know what I mean?
Are you making difficult decisions right now at home on where you spend your money?
Of course, I have to look for the cheapest place now. Like sometimes I never used to go to Dollar Tree. Now I go to Dollar Tree.
This section used to have all of our canned meat.
Casey McMahon showed us the empty shelves that usually hold canned chicken or tuna, protein sources that are in high demand. The average family that used to need help for 8 to 12 weeks, he says, now needs it for closer to 7 or 8 months.
So you noticed people relying on you not just for a month at a time to get through, but
Right.
a longer period of time.
Yeah, I think when folks think of food pantries, they think of an immediate crisis that brings someone to the doors. What we're seeing is a long-term crisis. Things are just not adding up at the end of the month.
MetroCrest is expecting to see more demand for things like this as we get into the summer because they said as prices go up, people usually burn through savings first before they ask for assistance getting things like this. The U.S. savings rate is now down at its lowest level in 4 years. Jason Allen, CBS News in Carrollton, Texas.
Back here at home, a new cashless policy at Sherwood's sports complex is sparking pushback from some parents and coaches. The city now requiring card-only payments at concession stands after making the change earlier this month. City leaders say the move reduces risks that come with handling cash while also speeding up transactions and improving safety. Some families say the change caught them off guard in the middle of the season and could leave some kids without a way to buy snacks or a drink. Others support the switch, saying cashless payments are becoming the norm at sports venues across the country.
Never in a million years would I imagine that they would turn away a small child walking up there with his $3 bills to buy his Coke and his candy. Never.
They have to be responsible as they grow up to learn how to navigate their money without cash. It's not something that I wish happened, but it's something that we have to kind of move forward in how we raise our children.
Cities like Cabot, along with Dickey-Stevens Park and Baumwalker Stadium, have already made similar moves. Sherwood says coaches and participants were notified after the policy took effect on May 1st. More than $850,000 is heading to rural road projects across Arkansas. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and the State Department of Agriculture announcing funding for 6 county projects through the Arkansas Unpaved Roads program. The money will help improve drainage, reduce flooding, and upgrade roadways in counties, including Calhoun, Dallas, Independence, and Sharp. Now, state officials say the projects are designed to make travel safer and help keep rural communities connected. Speaking of the governor, she is visiting classrooms in Central Arkansas, putting a spotlight on American history and the road to the country's 250th birthday. At Lakewood Elementary in North Little Rock, an assembly turned into a history-focused pep rally with the governor encouraging students to get ready for the upcoming America 250 celebration. She was joined by David Barker, who spoke about the nation's history and shared a message with students.
We're not guaranteed being happy, but we have the right to the pursuit of happiness. And we're here on this History Rocks tour to honor those founders of our country that helped us to discover those ideas and fought for our freedom.
Students were all quizzed on U.S. history and walked away with America 250 prizes, helping build excitement as the countdown continues to July 4th. New data fueling the debate over Arkansas's LEARNS Act and school choice, with homeschool advocates pointing to strong test results this morning. The Arkansas Family Council reports homeschoolers scored in the 63rd percentile in math and 68th in reading, 8 to 9 points higher than private school students. Both groups use education freedom accounts or vouchers to fund learning options. Supporters say the results highlight the success of flexible, parent-driven education options.
And I fully support parents being able to choose public school. I fully support them being able to choose a private school. And I fully support them being able to choose a homeschool, because homeschooling may not fit every student. just like private or public may not fit every student. You have to find what works.
Homeschool students are tested using one of 3 state-approved exams to measure progress. Critics say public school students face a different standard, taking the same state-mandated Atlas test. Well, this Friday is passing the weather test. It is going to be nice out there. Let's send it back to Tracy with an update.
It is. You know, we've had a beautiful week. The humidity has been fairly low. The temperatures have been amazing. Yesterday, I think, like I said, was a 10 out of 10 day. Low humidity. The high was right around 80. It was a perfect day out. And now today is going to still be nice. We're going to have a bit more cloud cover, and we're starting out a bit warmer. We're going to see that humidity increase and those temperatures as well. Looking for a high today in the upper 80s, and there'll be plenty of 90s across central and southern Arkansas as well. And those winds will be kicking up a little bit later, southerly gusting around 25 miles per hour. Now for your Saturday, again, cloudy skies will remain, but we're starting out in the 70s and those upper 60s. So it's going to start out warm and it's going to continue into the afternoon. Again, those humid conditions. We'll see things clearing out just a little bit as we're heading into the evening, but we do have the chance for some rain as we're heading into your Sunday. Not looking for a lot of rain there, scattered showers at best, but really starts to pick up as we're heading into early next week.